Why would you start a dream diary? What's the importance of having one?
There's a couple of ways, or a couple of reasons, should I say, about a dream diary. Some people want to have an insight into what may be happening around them. Other people want to have talking to their loved ones who've passed away, and so it serves two purposes. The mind that is active, i.e. I want to know what is happening, and as I say, I want contact. Now, a dream diary is really, it's a document on your laptop, on your PC home base, and it's one that you can sort of look at, you can refer to. And when it comes to an analytical tool, you can see trends. For instance, it could be that you're thinking, hang on a minute, there's something happening with work. I'm always seeing dreams that are centered around work. Am I changing? Am I doing this? And it gives you good insight.
So what you could do is keep logging your dreams, what happens in your dreams, and
Yes.
and is it worth putting the day down or
Yeah. When you look at doing a dream diary, you want to be as concise as you possibly can. And I would recommend everybody now has one of these smartphones, whether it's Samsung, an iPhone, whatever. They all have a voice recorder on it. It means therefore you haven't got to put the light on, wake up your partner, whatever. When you keep a dream diary, you need to be when you have a dream, you need to wake up, you need to note the time of night that you have in that dream, because it could be that your dream cycle always happens at 4:11 or between 4:11 and 4:25, so you can get a pattern on how you're factoring your sleep. It's another little side thing, but you want to put in the day and the time, and then it's important to put your feelings down. Am I being chased? Therefore, I'm scared. Is the dream nighttime? Is the dream daytime? Am I in a built-up area? Am I in a forest? Am I in the fields? Everything to do with how you feel, and you need to be as descriptive as you can, without overthinking it. The recall is instant. It's like watching a film. So therefore, you can say, "Oh yes, there was this, there was that, this happened." People look out for literally wanting to see numbers, the number 4, the number 8, the number 2, and it doesn't work that way. It will be 2 white houses, 2 white cars, 2 white lorries, whatever. That is the number 2. Yeah. So it's the occurrence and repetition of a symbolic element within the dreamscape that gives you that number. It takes practice to, for instance, you might be walking around somebody else's house, and you look at their pictures on their wall, and there's a plaque on the bottom of the picture, gives you a message. "Hello, Ian, blah, 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 blah. This is going to happen, so. Yeah, it's hard to recall them fully without practice. So that is why your dream diary needs to be over, I would say, at least more than just 1 month, because it takes you time to get into that routine.
So it's worth recording all these little details. It's worth recording as quickly as you can as well, because I know from experience that within 5 minutes you can literally forget all the details of the dream. So it's important that you write that down as soon as you've experienced it. I think it's great that you talk about the time as well, because people, as you say, sleep in cycles, and there's a very small amount of time where we're in really deep sleep. Do you think that's when spirit communication happens, or do you think this is like a universal consciousness? What's your theory on it?
Well, I would say, things that happen around us are certainly, the universal consciousness. I like that term. Your dream where you have spirit talking to you is more where the dream is very, very emotional, and you recall it when you wake up. It's one of these things where it makes a difference, and it's good to note it down, because you will, if it's your father, for instance, you might get, "Oh, hello, love. It's been nice meeting you. Don't worry this. It was a nice flowers on the coffin. I like the songs." There's all that type of thing, and it gives you that definite, this is my dad. What makes it different is the reality. It really does speak out, as it would do when a medium is communicating with the spirit side of life. Spirit are real. When you're looking at a dream facet, it can seem a little bit flat. However, it would be real to you in the fact of your feelings. I have to run, I have to do this, I've got to fight. there's a lot of information on the internet as to what you call it symbology, and you have to come up with your own sort of interpretation. When it comes to dreams, though, whether you have a spirit contact, it is always in a safe place, and more often than not, it's your parents' front room. Even if your parents have passed away a number of years ago, you will find yourself in a familiar place where you feel safe. And then you can look around, you're thinking, oh, hello, Dad, hello, Mum, and you're having a talk like it was just like it was, and it's just so easy, and the information flows, but the emotions stay with you because they are real. And I do feel, on a scientific thing, it's the patination of those memories in some form of chemical way that stays for that much longer, where the dream cycle could be a electrical impulse where it fades at time, it gets stored away, but the recall's gone. Hence why write the damn things down. You can get a theme, because within dreams there's the fallacy that every time we dream it's a real dream. It isn't. For instance, we could be recalling our events over the last day or 48 hours, where we just I had a bad time there, I don't like this, I don't like that. For instance, if we're getting really upset with work, we're frustrated, then the chances are within the dream that could manifest as ants crawling on the floor, bugs coming in across the walls. We're not happy with it, so we want to get out. It's normally within a room, so you're looking at that room is your comfort zone. And it's a case of, I need to get out of my comfort zone, but I don't want to. But the presence of something that we don't like, it could be spiders, it could be ants, it could be bugs, it could be snakes, whatever. But it makes you face it, and you realize it, and your subconscious is trying to say to your brain, speak up, tell people you don't like it, act on it, don't let it keep going on. That's very different from a dream whereby, I'll use something that happened to me years and years ago. I was once in the forces, and I was having a dream, and I was in uniform. Now, to me, from having done many a dream diary, I'm very much aware it was my work. Yeah, and then I saw one of my colleagues walking over to me, and the whole scape of the land. There was military tents, and I thought, this isn't the UK. And I had a look around, and I thought, oh, hello, Robbie. And then I thought, oh, I know, he was down at the Falkland Islands at that time. So I thought, oh, have a guess where I'm going. So I went into work the next day. They said, oh, we've got something to tell you. I said, yeah, I know. I'm being sent to the Falklands to take over from Robbie. Who told you? It was in that dream. So I was able to understand what he was saying. So it was a dream, probably put over with my guides, and it came to pass. It's not. I suppose you could say it's a prophetic element to it, but it did happen.
I think with dreams as well, it's a very complicated area, because I think not only do you have the psychological elements that come through in your dreams, but you've then also got what I believe to be, and I'm sure you believe it as well, that you get spirit, I think an intelligence, as I say, a universal consciousness, and sometimes we've all heard of cosmic ordering or things like that.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes we get little bits of snippets, and it could be deep down in our consciousness, or it could be something out there that tries to wake you up, not literally, but tries to wake you up in your life, so that you maybe make change in your life.
Indeed, yes, indeed.
A lot of change can be very painful, but in the end it's rewarding, and dreams in a way will often reaffirm. So by having a dream diary that continues over a long period of time, I'm sure that you can see these reoccurring messages that are happening, and then you can apply that to your life and say, well, I'm not in a good relationship, or I'm not in a good job, or I don't like where I live, I'm under this pressure from my family, and it's reoccurring and it's continuing. So if you keep having the same themes and dreams over a year or something like that, there's obviously something in your consciousness, there's obviously something or someone saying to you, look, you've got to wake up and you've got to change this in your life.
a lot of people for a good amount of time during the day are guarded. They keep themselves to themselves. They don't voice their thoughts, even if they got fears of a partnership, of a work situation. They don't voice it. They keep it pressed down. The same is for wanting to hear from a loved one who's passed over. So therefore, when you are in your sleep state, and normally it's a low alpha wave, then the conscious mind is still there because it's working on what's going on in the background. The creation of cells and that in your body. All the functions carry on. But the mind doesn't have the influence of, what you're talking about? What's that? Oh, I'm being nosy. So it comes through in a very unfettered, but in a symbolic element or a symbolic way. That's the key element. You've got to work out or understand in your point of view what each element is. For instance, people might say, oh, I'm seeing an aeroplane crash. Does that mean I'm going to have a bad holiday or whatever? But it seems that what it is that you're working on, you're thinking, oh yes, I've got this to happen. It might say it's not going to work. You know what I mean? Or you need to think of a different avenue because you want a different outcome. We can be, as in your mindfulness, we can press things down, we don't deal with them, we walk away, we run away, and a dream helps us to face it because the subconscious is putting out over our deep thoughts, our truer thoughts that are coming over, and therefore it is in literally there laid out in front of you, and we can, as you said, we've got a chance to act on it.
And also, as well as a medium, it's always good to have a diary or at least make notes of things, because often before you go to bed or before you as you wake up, you may have mediumistic or psychic thoughts or visions or shall we say actually visitors as well. So it's always good to have and I'm sure most people have their smartphone next to the bed anyway, but it's always good to record all of these things and look back, because one thing I found is that often a spirit guide will not instantly appear in front of you and suddenly you're working with somebody, but you'll have to go back maybe over a year or 6 months and you'll see that actually this person has been around you for a long time and has been slowly immersing themselves into your life until you are used to seeing that particular person. And this is where not just a dream diary, but having a diary at the side of the bed is a really good tool for your mediumship as well.
One thing I should have covered at the very start is how do we start the process of a dream diary, and basically it's giving yourself the auto suggestion of, when I'm dreaming, I want to wake up. When I'm dreaming, I want to wake up. If you say it with the intent of that happening, then in effect, you're giving your subconscious mind an order. Yeah. And therefore, when you fall to sleep, that subconscious mind thinks, wake up, you're having a dream, wake up. So it wakes up the conscious mind. The conscious mind gets you to stand upright through a conscious choice, and the process goes there. There's 2 points of difficulty. Is one that comes over is getting to the stage where we regularly wake up during dreams, and the second one is is not overthinking, over analyzing it, but having the symbolic elements correct that it's interpretation for you.